Graham at the University of Oregon. 19 and 12 overall over the last 3 seasons. 4 and 4 overall this year. 1 and 4 in the Pac-10. It is second down and 10. Akili Smith to the near side. It's going to be complete to Blake Spence, the tight end, and he's driven down around the Oregon 27 or 28 yard line.
And about all that did was keep Blake Spence consecutive streak alive of catching passes. He's now up to 23 because virtually no gain at all. Just a little pass out to the flat to the tight end, try to have him break a tackle.
That's his 30th catch on the season. Nearing 500 yards in pass receptions for Blake Spence, the tight end. They go to him quite a bit, Sonny.
After that pass, though, Nigel Burton absolutely leveled Akili Smith. He's going to get a lot of that today. See how he responds.
Third down, long yardage for the Ducks. Third down and 8. They've got to get to the 37-yard line. Akili Smith with a lot of pressure, and it's almost intercepted by Marcus Hairston. The inside linebacker had it, but he couldn't hang on, and the Ducks give up the football.
A lot of pressure that time. Marcus Hairston had an opportunity to be a hero on that one, guys, but look at the pressure right here on the inside. You see Suki Wiggs, Mac Tuiaea in there trying to wrap him up. Looked like Mac Tuiaea had a hand on him, Todd.
Well, the last thing you want to do, Sonny, as you know, as a former quarterback, is to pump fake under pressure and throw down the middle.
Marcus Hairston, the sophomore out of Tacoma. Josh Bidwell to punt it away. The deep man is Jerome Pathon. A high kick. Pathon will call for the fair catch, and he makes the grab at the Husky 26-yard line. The sure hands of Jerome Pathon, and what a year for Pathon.
Well, I think we just saw one of the success stories of the Oregon offense or team. Bidwell's been a heck of a punter this season for the Ducks. And here we go, Marcus Tuiasosopo, Rick. I tell you, this guy he is really composed for a freshman. I haven't quite seen anybody like that in a long time.
First true freshman to ever start at quarterback for the University of Washington. This kid out of Woodinville High School, he is a great story. His first start, Brock Heward on the sidelines with the injured ankle suffered last week that he previously injured in that Nebraska ball game. In motion, Freddie Coleman, Tuiasosopo rolling to his right, looking downfield, keeps the ball himself, and he runs out of bounds around the 30-yard line. I would think that Coach Lambright, Sonny, would try to keep it real simple in the early part of the ball game for Marcus.
Well, that's one thing he likes to do is roll out to the corner and look downfield for a short pass completion, but he does have the speed to turn it upfield.
Here's a look at the Smart Wireless offensive line for the Washington Huskies. Tony Coates, Benji Olsen, the All-American, Olin Kreutz, great year at center. There's Shaw Connor, Cleveland, Pathon, Coleman at flanker. And I was talking with Jim Lambright at his press conference on Monday. He said, I feel very, very confident with the freshman at quarterback this afternoon. Tuiasosopo gets the throw off, and it's going to be caught by the fullback coming out of the backfield, Pat Conniff, and he's out of bounds around the 34-yard line. Here's a look at the Oregon defense. By Smart Wireless. Terry Miller, Desmond Bird, Leah Sualua, and Saul Patu, the kid out of Rainier Beach High School here in Seattle. Peter Sermon, Garth White, Dietrich Moore, the linebackers, Edwards McLemore, Jaya Figueres, and Rashad Ballman in the defensive backfield for the Ducks. Jawarren Hooker down to the ball game for Washington.
When we talk about Patrick Johnson's speed, but Jawarren Hooker, there's a good contest.
Nobody in the backfield for the Huskies. 2 wide to the left, 2 to the right, and we've got some movement at the line of scrimmage, and some tempers start to flare right at the snap of the ball.
I think it was Cam Cleveland, the tight end, that moved before the snap. And you know, with a new quarterback this week, Sonny, what about the communication between the quarterback, his cadence, and the rest of the offensive line?
Well, I don't know.
Full start on the offense.
I don't know if it's so much that or some of the jabs that Cam Cleveland and Pat Johnson have been doing in the papers.
Here's the movement along that line. Jawarren Hooker, who's set up wide to the right side, left a little bit too early.
See the cushion they were giving him on that? That's just a little sign to look for throughout the game.
This kid can fly. It is third down and 10 for the Huskies at their own 27-yard line. In motion to the near side, Fred Coleman, Tuiasosopo drops back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket to the near side. Marcus will have to keep it, and he's taken down at the 24-yard line. Great pursuit by the Oregon defense.
Well, Coach Lambright was a little concerned about the Oregon defense with a week off, Todd, to come in and give a little blitz action going after the young quarterback. They had people coming on this, not allowing him time to set up and throw the little screen pass.
And they're most concerned about Tuiasosopo's ability to elude the rush. He's a very good runner. He was an option quarterback. That time they had great containment.
Sean O'Loughlin back to punt, standing back at his own 10-yard line. The deep man for the Ducks is Saladin McCullough. It's a short kick out to the near side. It may get a Husky bounce, but it goes straight up in the air and now takes a Husky roll down to the Oregon 31-yard line. So with 11. Oh, wait a second. Like we said, there has been no love lost between these two teams over the last few years. So more tempers flare out in front of the Oregon bench. And now the referees do a great job. 11:46 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back with more from Husky Stadium right after this timeout. Ducks with the football at their own 30-yard line. 11:46 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Saladin McCullough looking for some room over the middle across the 35, and he's down to the 37-yard line.
And that's what Saladin McCullough does. We have a late flag again after the play is concluded in the Washington secondary. But Saladin McCullough has that ability and the patience to wait for the hole to develop. They use a lot of zone blocking, Oregon does, and let him pick where the hole is. There's Tony Parrish, and he's one of the guys in the altercation after the play had concluded.
Against the defense, 15 yards.
So personal foul against the Huskies.
It's one of the things you don't want to get into the game of doing, Rick, because when it takes away the flow that you have. This guy makes a nice run right here. Saladin McCullough, everybody knows, can break it at any time, but we didn't quite see what happened. You see some of those, it's always the guy that does it second that gets caught. So that's what Coach Lambright looks like. He's trying to make a point right there.
Now the Ducks have the football inside Washington territory at the Husky 48-yard line. Akili Smith at quarterback, rolling to the near side. Now the pitch to McCullough. McCullough trying to turn the corner, gets across the 45. He's down around the 44-yard line.
As Darian Latimer came in for McCullough for one play, a sophomore from Colorado Springs. The Ducks like the idea of the option against this aggressive Washington defense, and in particular to the short side of the field, Sonny, because the tendency is for the safety to play towards the wide side of the field. They like to run that option to the near side.
Well, that's true, and you also obviously have less people on that side to have to deal with.
Now you have Eric Wynn in at fullback along with McCullough in the backfield. A gain of 3. It is 2nd down and 7 for Oregon. The handoff is to McCullough, trying the far side, trying to turn the corner, but he cannot. He is taken down right there by Nigel Burton with a nice tackle, grabbing McCullough down around the ankles.
Nigel Burton does a great job. He's a very good rover. He'll come up and pop you. He's not a very big guy. You see Lestertown 17 trying to get there. Wynn occupying him, and Nigel Burton just not letting him get to the outside.
Yeah, that play is designed initially to go off tackle, but McCullough with the option to bounce to the outside there.
A.J. Jelks into the ball game for Oregon. McCullough in the backfield, nearing 900 yards for the season, averaging just over 5 yards per carry. Akili Smith looks to throw, keeps it so far, looking downfield over the middle. He's got a receiver. Right there is Jelks, and he's taken down at the Husky 35-yard line. So a first down for the Ducks at the Washington 35.
The Ducks wanted to run a little slip screen out to Saladin McCullough, but I think it was Jerry Jensen that smelled it out. He was all over McCullough. So Akili Smith buying time with his legs across the field finds the H-back, A.J. Jelks.
He had a lot of time to find someone, and that's one thing that they try to do is you try and contain Akili Smith. Don't let him get to the corner, but it creates a little vacuum in the middle to throw back.
So the Ducks starting to move the football here in the first quarter. 9:34 to go. No score in the ball game. Akili Smith to the first man through, and I believe that is McCullough. It is Saladin McCullough. Suki Wiggs on the tackle, and again there is another flag thrown on the play.
Well, a short gain on first down, and it looks like the penalty is against the Huskies. At least that's the indication from the Oregon.
5-yard face mask tacked on at the end of the run against the defense. It looked like Suki Wiggs, went high on the tackle and may have got his hand inadvertently around to the face mask, but no matter, it's still 5 yards and first down.
The Ducks want to stay away from third and long situations, so even if they only get a yard or two on first or second down, they don't want to be in 3rd and 15. 3rd and 6, okay, but they want to avoid any of those bad plays early.
Right now, the 2nd down and 3 for the Ducks at the Washington 29-yard line. Akili Smith looking over the middle. He's in trouble. The pursuit by the Huskies. Smith to the far side, being chased by Hairston and taken out of bounds. Jerry Jensen finishes off the play as Akili Smith is run out of bounds down around the 28-yard line, so maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Good coverage by the secondary.
That's what I was going to say. Nobody's open downfield, but he's a big, strong kid. He's 6'3", Todd, and he does. Look at the mobility right here to just inch his way outside, and you see Marcus Hairston's not a small guy.
Second down,
just barely being able to trip him out.
And that's the difference
replayed
between
because
Moss,
of the face mask. It's second down now.
Between Moss and Smith. Smith has that speed. He was an outfielder in the Pittsburgh Pirate organization. You would like that, Rick. And so he's got some pretty good speed.
A couple of years ago. So he's a tremendous athlete and a great talent. He can run, Akili Smith. It is 2nd down and 1 for the Ducks. Smith to the left side. Now the pitch out to McCullough. Ducks with the first down. The 20 across the 20. And he's taken down around the 17-yard line. So another first down for the Ducks. Lester Towns and also Tony Parrish in on the tackle to bring down the hard-nosed running back for the Ducks, Saladin McCullough.
It looks like the Oregon coaching staff with that week off went back and viewed some of those Nebraska films and even maybe some of those Oregon State Beaver films of old, because the option has always given the Husky defense trouble.
Yeah, both teams have the option in their package. It's always there, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times a week. This week for Oregon, I think it's a greater emphasis.
Saladin McCullough already with 22 yards on the afternoon here in the first quarter and just 4 carries. It is 1st and 10 for the Ducks. McCullough will try it one more time over the middle, cuts to the far side, across the 10 and down to the goal, down to the 5-yard line. He dives for a few more yards. Saladin McCullough with a gain of about 12 yards, another first down. 1st and goal for Oregon at the Washington 5-yard line.
Again, it's just for the offensive line. Put a hat on a hat. Just try to find a guy in purple and let Saladin McCullough kind of an obstacle course run here. And you can see he's into the secondary and almost broke it.
Well, you get to the middle linebackers, Saladin can pick it up, but that time 68 Seton Daly had a great block on Marcus Hairston in the middle.
1st and goal for the Ducks at the Washington 5-yard line. The Ducks are knocking on the door. No score in the ball game. Akili Smith, McCullough will try it one more time, but he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Jermaine Smith and also Lester Towns right there, a tackle for a loss.
They're looking for him slipping outside, Todd. That time they were able to get out there. And with this turf, even though it's sunny everywhere else, it's still covered on the field, so it's a little wet, as you can see right there, a little moisture coming up.
You see DeVries and Eric Wynn both pulling in that situation. Wynn the fullback, DeVries the guard, and they both went for Jerry Jensen. That left 2 Huskies with only 1 running back. Pretty good odds.
Yeah, the Huskies like that.
2nd down and 6 for Oregon. Wynn and McCullough in the backfield. Akili Smith will keep it himself across the 5, and he's down to the right around the 3-yard line.
Gain of 3 yards.
And that time they ran the option to the wide side of the field with Smith. At any time, the quarterback, if he sees an opening that close to the goal line, he has to take the opening and head it straight upfield. And at 6'3", 220, he can carry some people occasionally.
But the attacking defense, the speed of the Washington defense, can fly to the ball. And so you go to the wide side like that, it gives them an opportunity to show their speed.
Big play right here defensively coming up for the Huskies. It is 3rd and goal at the Husky 3-yard line. Akili Smith will keep it. He's going to be now taken away. Now the pass is complete. Touchdown, Oregon. Jerry Jensen had a hand on Akili Smith, but he couldn't hang on. Smith is able to get away. A touchdown for the Oregon Ducks.
And that's A.J. Jelks. You know, the Ducks have thrown now more than half of their touchdown passes to the tight ends, Spence and Jelks. But that time, it's all Akili Smith. He bought time on his own as Jensen had him dead to rights. But as we mentioned, Smith is a big, strong guy, and he won't come down easily. And he was able to buy time, and Jelks just kept the pattern going.
He must be if he's going to get away from Jerry Jensen.
Jensen's a great linebacker.
A.J. Jelks with his 5th touchdown on the season. So the Ducks with the extra point try. Oregon with the early 6-0 lead with 6:37 to go here in the first quarter. Snap back. The kick is up. The kick is...
There was a whistle before. Might have been too much time for the Ducks. They've got a new kicker this week. Josh Frankel is kicking. He'll do all the kicking today. Extra points, field goals, and kicking off. Joshua Smith has struggled in recent games. Missed a
Delay on the kicking team. The try will be from the 8-yard line.
Missed a critical three-pointer against USC that would have won that ball game. And so they've had a kickoff in practice, and Frankel won the job. He's never kicked a field goal, but he's got a couple extra points.
Don't talk to Husky fans about place kicking.
It was deja vu from the game up here 2 years ago. The same kind of scenario.
So the snap comes back from the 8-yard line. Josh Frankel will try it one more time. This time the kick is up. No flag on the play. The kick is good, and the Ducks take a 7-0 lead. With 6:41 to go here in the first quarter, the Ducks get on the board first. It's the Ducks 7, the Huskies nothing. Back with more after this timeout. 5:36 to go here in the first quarter. Oregon leading Washington 7-0. Ducks with very good field position at the Washington 47-yard line. Akili Smith gets out of the pocket. Racing to the near side, looking, and the pass is going to be complete at the 35-yard line.
That was Ray Brust, about a 6'3" wide receiver who's really come on lately for Oregon, getting a lot more playing time as the season has progressed. But here's Smith again. The protection is actually pretty good, but he flushes out, and just nice little touch over Nigel Burton and inbounds for the reception.
It looked like one thing that Akili Smith, when he gets outside, you can only cover those receivers so long before you have to commit to him running the ball or throwing the ball.
Rust and Johnson sent up wide to the far side. McCullough in the backfield gets the handoff right over the middle, has some room, and he's across the 25 and down to the 22 or 23-yard line. It looks like another first down for Oregon.
On that offensive line, not the biggest line in the world like we saw in our opening graphic, but they just have to give Saladin McCullough a chance. He's into the secondary, and this guy has a chance to be the first Oregon running back to ever average more than 100 yards for his career.
He is so quick. He shows you one move and gives you another and makes his own daylight. So it's 1st and 10. Oregon 66 yards on the ground. Not much on that play at all. Washington defense right there. Jabari Issa, the 6'6", 300-pound sophomore from San Mateo, California.
Filling a lot of shoes. Chris Campbell went down with that broken leg, and Jabari has moved from the inside to the outside. Still adjusting a little bit to that position because it is a totally different ball game. Rick, when you're in that middle, guys are slapping your head and banging you around. Out there, you have a little freedom. But he's still adjusting to it.
Only a sophomore. Gain of only, well, nothing on the play. It is 2nd down and 10 at the Washington 25. Smith to the near side, passes off complete to Pat Johnson. He's down to the Husky 2-yard line. Another first down for the Ducks, and that throw was right on the money to Pat Johnson over the middle.
A rifle job by Smith. Just a quick 3-step drop, slant by Patrick Johnson. 1, 2, 3. Boom, it's gone, and he's inside the 5-yard line.
And Mel Miller saves the touchdown on that play.
So quick that Marcus Hairston could not get back in that passing lane to disrupt Akili Smith's throw. One thing I saw in that play, though, also on the other side, Blake Spence takes off. Who goes with him? The free safety.
1st and goal. They spot the football at the 1-yard line. It is McCullough. Touchdown, Oregon. Saladin McCullough with a 1-yard run, and the Ducks are on the board again. They have a 13-0 lead.
Well, this is a shocker as Oregon, with the running game of Saladin McCullough, has shown good balance today. He just takes it over the right side. Michael Clue, 74. gets his man to the inside, and there's just a little crease. And when you're down near the goal line, you don't need much. And he is just over for the touchdown.
Very quick start. It wasn't the kickoff this year, but Oregon defense has given the offense an opportunity to go in with short scores.
All set up, excuse me, because of the short punt.
Exactly. Very good field position. They take advantage. Frankel with the extra point, and Frankel gets it through the uprights. Another touchdown and the extra point, and the Oregon Ducks have a 14-0 lead with 3:53 to go here in the first quarter of play. 14-0. Oregon back with more after this. Time back to Huskies Stadium. A surprising start for the Ducks of Oregon. They have a 14-0 lead. The kick is rolled out toward midfield. It is going to be covered by the Huskies at their 42-yard line.
That looks like something Jim Lambright would call, huh? He's been known to do that. And that was actually a good call, and Oregon had a great chance to get that ball. That was a perfect time to call this play. It's just the kicker, and it's almost designed for him to get the ball. And that ball could have been recovered.
And it was the kicker that kicked it.
He kicked it. That's the problem with those kickers. They want to kick the ball.
It was kicked away from the scrum, and it's covered by Mike Reed of the Huskies. So the Huskies will have the football at their own 42-yard line. Mike Bellotti trying a little razzle-dazzle with the onside kick, but the Huskies take over in good field position. Out near midfield. Tuiasosopo leading the offense for the first time, rolling to the right side. Looking back over the middle. He's got Pathon. Pathon complete. He's got the first down inside Duck territory at the Oregon 46-yard line. Rolls to his right, son. He's able to throw it across and finds Jerome Pathon for the catch.
Well, Marcus Tuiasosopo was also a baseball player, played a little shortstop. Looked here like it was a nice throw to first base to get him. But Jerome Pathon settled down that little zone area out there, and that's what he can do. Roll him out. He can throw on the run.
Lou Piniella, you're watching down there in Tampa. We got some good baseball players down there playing football this afternoon. The lone setback is Maurice Shaw, 1st and 10 for the Huskies. And the give goes to Shaw over the right side, and Maurice chug his way downfield for about maybe 3 yards on the carry. A tough 3 yards on the carry by Shaw.
Desmond Bird, the tackle for Oregon. And here's a guy Oregon desperately needed back in the lineup, Sonny. He's their biggest and most experienced defensive lineman. 6'3", up around 300 pounds. A pretty good push guy in the middle. And with that huge offensive line, they needed somebody up there to be able to hold their own ground.
I'll tell you, Brock Huard in practice is Thursday, just anxious to get out there. A little bit of pain still on that ankle, but he can't stand being on the sidelines.
Maurice Shaw one more time over the middle across the 40. No, that's Mike Reed into the ball game. Mike Reed, a gain of 4 yards on the carry. It'll be 3rd down, short yardage for a 1st and 10 try for the Huskies. Brandon McLemore on the tackle. 3rd down and 3.
Now here's a look at Sermon. Let's keep our eye on him and how he factors into this. He's getting pushed off the line, but he holds his ground pretty good, and he's right there on the tackle. You have to have your gap responsibilities, and Sermon is very good at that.
Big play right here for Washington. 3rd down and 3, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Huskies trail 14-0. 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions for Washington. Tuiasosopo, quick drop, looking to the near side and deep. Jerome Pathon, he's it in the end zone. Jerome Pathon had it. The throw was there, but he could not hang on.
Yeah, he had beaten Eric Edwards, who had fallen down, and I don't know if the ball should have been thrown.
And we're back for the start of the second quarter. The Oregon Ducks with the early lead, 14-0. Freshman Marcus Tuiasosopo trying to get that offense rolling, Sonny, here in the first half.
Well, they've been trying to loosen up even that Duck. You know, they're throwing that ball deep to Jawan Hooker. Jerome Pathon with an opportunity to bring in a touchdown catch. So they're doing some good things right here, but traditionally this season, the Huskies have always been slow getting out of the blocks.
It's interesting. So has Oregon. They've been outscored until today 80-45 in the first quarter. So a turnaround for Oregon.
1st and 10 for the Huskies at their own 30-yard line. Maurice Shaw, the lone man in the backfield, losing the snap from center. Tuiasosopo, and the Duck players say that they have the football. And so does the referee. So the fumble on the snap from center, and holy smoke, the Oregon Ducks with the breaks here in the first half of play. They've got the ball at the Washington 30.
It's just the basic way to start every play, the snap from center. But see, it just doesn't get there.
Well, when the center has to get that little reach block to move to his right and jump over and get the nose tackle, sometimes a center will take that ball with them a little bit, and the quarterback's not used to trying to stay with it.
Peter Sermon with a fumble recovery, his second of the year, the first fumble recovery game in the initial game of the year against Arizona. And you know Brock has got to be, he's just itching to get in there.
Yeah, you know he wanted to try and start this ball game, but Jim Lambright and the coaching staff, a lot of confidence in the kid out of Woodinville High School, Marcus Tuiasosopo. It's 1st and 10 the other way for the Ducks. McCullough over the middle, can't find any room at all. Maybe a gain of a half a yard if that. Suki Wiggs on the tackle for the Huskies.
On the end of the line of scrimmage, good battle. You can't quite see it here because the ball was run up the middle. Saladin McCullough not really finding much room in there. Jerry Jensen again coming in to make the stop. But Chorak on the other side, Blake Spence and him are going at it. I tell you, it's a nice little battle on the corner.
Yeah, there you see him right there. Maybe the best pass rushing guy in the league against one of the best tight ends, if not the best pass catching tight end in the league.
It was a gain of 1. It is 2nd down and 9. Akili Smith looking to the far side, gets away from one tackler, looks to the near side, and gets away from a would-be tackler. The pass is off, incomplete.
Thrill a minute.
Oh,
never a dull moment.
This guy is exciting to watch. A.J. Jelks, I believe, was the intended receiver down around the 20.
And there's Kevin Parker, number 24, and he's got a target on his back. Kevin Parker did some things in celebration 2 years ago up here that the Husky fans and players didn't really like, and Parker might be a marked man, number 24. Flag on the play.
It's going to be a penalty against the Huskies.
That's the second personal foul penalty. The first one on Tony Parrish helped set up the first Oregon score. Here's Smith again, and I mean, two guys have pretty good shots at him here. You see Jensen missed, but here's Hairston. He has a real good shot. He has to make that play.
He dropped his head on the play. It looked like Tuiasosopo hit him. I didn't see what happened after that, but if that was the call, I didn't agree with that.
I think it took place away from there, and I think Kevin Parker was involved because there was certainly some jawing going on with him involved.
Donald Haynes was the intended receiver.
Let's see if we can see what happens after.
Here's the rush. And then the hit on Akili Smith. Didn't look that bad.
No, it didn't.
If that was the call, it didn't look like that
bad at all to me, Sonny.
I think it happened elsewhere.
1st and 10 for the Ducks at the Washington 15. It is McCullough again over the middle. A gain of about 3 on the carry. Jason Chorak is in on the tackle for the Huskies.
Well, you can't give enough credit right now to this Oregon offensive line. This is an offensive line that's lost 2 starters this year. They lost David Weber, their only experienced starter from a year ago, and they also lost a young true freshman by the name of Gundy, who was their biggest guy at 330. But right now, they're giving McCullough a chance to make positive yardage.
I don't know. I think it's Akili Smith and his scrambling ability so far. He's done an outstanding job.
2nd down and 7 for the Oregon Ducks. Again, McCullough kind of knifes his way over the right side of the line, and he's down inside the 10, around the 7-yard line.
See, there's almost nothing there, and yet a great back can make something out of nothing. Just a spin 360, and he picks up about 2 or 3 yards, and those are tough yards down inside the 10.
Jensen and Wiggs.
50 yards already for Saladin McCullough. Truly one of the great backs, and certainly one of the most under-publicized backs in the country.
8th in the nation in all-purpose yards gained, rushing and returning kicks. It is 3rd down and 4. Akili Smith on the option, pitches out. McCullough runs out of bounds.
Excellent job by Jerry Jensen on that play. That's 2 plays in a row now, one going in the first quarter where Jerry Jensen's had Akili Smith on a late toss to Saladin McCullough, Todd.
See, and here's where Washington, they may have one less man, but they can use the sideline as a 12th man. As in this case, McCullough basically runs out of real estate because you're on the short side of the field. Good job by Jensen.
Excellent job. He's still upset about that missed tackle on Smith prior to that first touchdown pass.
Ducks will try the field goal attempt. The ball will be spotted at the Washington 16-yard line. So a 26-yard try by Josh Frankel. It is 14-0 Oregon. The kick is away, and it is good. The three-pointer for Frankel and the Ducks, and they move out to a 17-0 lead. So it's been all Ducks so far here in the first half of play. 12:37 to go in the second quarter. It's the Ducks 17, the Huskies nothing. 17-0 Oregon leading. Washington with the football, 1st and 10. At the Oregon 32-yard line, Jawarren Hooker into the ball game. 3 wide to the near side, but the handoff goes to Jason Harris over the middle. And he'll get maybe a yard or 2 on the carry.
There's big Des Bird again, making the tackle, just knifing in underneath. You know, Bird still hurting. He's got some cracked ribs and injured sternum, and I mean those aren't good injuries to have when you know you're going to get hit on every play. But he's an emotional guy in the middle that they need.
These guys may not be the biggest guys on a defensive front line, but they're certainly quick.
Well, they're moving around today. They got fresh legs after having a week off.
Gain of only 1. It is 2nd down and 9.
Wide open.
Pathon downfield, but the pass goes to the near sideline. Jason Harris on the reception, and he's corralled right away.
Well, Sonny, you were jumping up and down up here because you saw Pathon in the secondary once again. With Tuiasosopo, again, a freshman, what about the read progression that he has to go through to find the receiver that's open?
Well, he'd already made up his mind right there, of course, but you see number 4, Edwards, kind of shadowing him a little bit out there, but it looked like Jerome Pathon had an advantage.
3rd down and 8.
Easy for us.
It's tough when you look over those big defensive plays. 3rd down, long yardage, motion to the far side. Mike Reed to Tuiasosopo looking. Jerome Pathon in the end zone.
It's offensive pass interference, don't you think?
No flag on the play.
Pathon made no effort to get the ball, Sonny, and he just tackled Eric Edwards. You know, I think he kind of looked like a 3-deep zone there, and he was able to let Pathon go to the middle, but he knew he was coming to the outside. Is this offensive pass interference? We'll see.
Let's take a look at the end. But again, I talked about the throwing again of Tuiasosopo. This one, as soon as it left his hand, it looked like, oh yeah,
I mean,
take him down. Yes.
Now maybe it's not a catchable ball. Well, certainly not with somebody's arm around your throat. But
well, that's true. But as I say, the ball clearly was way out of the end zone.
They may have ruled not catchable.
Nick Lentz on to try a long field goal attempt. The ball will be spotted at the 36-yard line. This will be a 46-yard try. He had a 45-yard field goal last week against USC. This would be his longest attempt. The kick is up. It has the distance, and it is good. Nick Lentz does it again. A 46-yard field goal puts the Huskies on the board. It's now the Ducks 17 and the Huskies 3. And how about this walk-on freshman? Holy smokes, 7:40 to go in the first half. It's the Ducks 17 and the Huskies 3. It's the Ducks 17 and the Huskies 3. 7:40 to go here in the first half of play. Nick Lentz will kick it off. Jason Cooper, one of the deep men, along with Pat Johnson. It's going to be a short end-over-end kick. It is going to be taken by Cooper at his own 17-yard line to the 25, the 30 upfield to the near side, across the 30 down to the Oregon 32-yard line.
Jason Cooper.
Well, the Ducks and the Huskies got together back in 1994, and what a ball game, Todd.
A game in Eugene. It was the stretch drive in the Rose Bowl race. And in this year, Damon Hewart tried to throw the out pattern with his team in position to go ahead and take the lead. But Kenny Wheaton stepped in, picked off the pass. 94 yards later, he had the clinching touchdown. And Oregon eventually went on to play in the Rose Bowl.
Outstanding year for the Ducks in 94 and again in 95, going to the Cotton Bowl that season. It is 1st and 10 for the Ducks. At their own 32-yard line, Akili Smith looking, over the middle, complete to Pat Johnson. Down to the Oregon 46-yard line.
Well, great job by Smith, because he is hit as he is throwing the ball, and Patrick Johnson makes an adjustment at the end of the route here. He catches this ball that's a little bit behind him with a little rollout play to Smith, and watch the catch by Johnson, kind of behind him a little.
A little behind him, but again, little play action, but way too much time to throw the football.
Well, this is a Husky defense that's lived on making the big play defensively.
First and 10 for the Ducks. Akili Smith has been moving the football team. This pass is out of bounds and incomplete. That was intended for McCullough. Downfield coming out of the backfield. Saladin McCullough.
He's
Way
a
downfield.
Good pass receiver, good hands, but we have not seen the Ducks go long to McCullough this year coming out of the backfield. So a little different wrinkle there for Oregon.
Jermaine Smith on the coverage.
Yeah, Jermaine Smith used that sidelines real well. Saladin ran like 30 yards out of bounds, so I can tell they haven't thrown to him long very much.
Akili Smith 7 for 11, 64 yards and 1 touchdown. That was a 3-yard pass in the first quarter. Saladin McCullough out to the 50-yard line. A gain of 3, where it's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Ducks with 6:49 to go here in the first half. Marcus Hairston with the tackle.
2 sophomore inside linebackers have really grown every game this season. You got Marcus Hairston 27 and Lester Town 17. Only sophomores, both of them big, talented, but they've gotten better every game.
3rd down and 7 for the Ducks. To the near side is Pat Johnson. 2 wideouts to the far side. Akili Smith over the middle, complete to his tight end Blake Smith. He's got the first down and a lot more. Down across the 30 to the Washington 29-yard line. Blake Spence, the tight end, with the reception. Tony Parrish with a tackle.
Well, he left 2 Huskies in his wake. He's a big, strong guy, and he has good speed. 6'4", 245. And Tony Parrish, he's holding on for dear life, or else it would have been an Oregon touchdown.
Well, I just spoke about Marcus Hairston, 27, the left middle linebacker right there. You see him in coverage right here. On him, pretty good coverage. Excellent pass by Smith and a missed tackle again by Marcus Hairston.
It's away from one tackler and gets a few more yards. First down. Pitches out. McCullough to the near side. Can't find a lot of room, but he's across the 25 and down to the Husky 24-yard line.
Well, that's the perfect call when Saladin McCullough has the ball. It doesn't look like he has a lot of room to run. It almost looks like he's running in slow motion at times, but he has that nice glide and gait to him. He falls forward, and what looked like maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain is a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, a little help out there with Eric Wynn, that little fire plug fullback, son of a former Duck, I believe.
That's right. It's old uncles and dad all played for the Ducks.
It is 2nd down and 4 for Oregon. Down at the Washington 23-yard line. McCullough, one more try over the middle. He's got the first down across the 10, the 5, and down to the Husky 2-yard line. Holy smoke. This guy is a load to take down. Saladin McCullough, 1st and goal for the Ducks. And they're knocking on the door one more time.
You know, Todd, McCullough, great job right here. Not so much the line play as it is missed tackles in the middle. Right there, Lester Towns missing a tackle, and Saladin McCullough, you cannot afford to do that with that young guy.
You know, good running backs have the ability to make you look bad. It's like Barry Sanders sometimes. I mean, some of his best runs are when 4 or 5 guys are just, you know, jumping around like they have him. And the Ducks with an opportunity here to get another touchdown.
1st and goal. McCullough's hit in the backfield for a loss. Lester Towns right there with the tackle.
He said, you made me look bad on the last one. I'm getting you this time. Bring it on.
Right after him.
I heard that Todd talking bad about me.
No, don't blame me. You know, Lester's cousin plays for the Ducks. Trey Towns is a defensive lineman. This guy is really going to be good. Lester Towns coming into his own the last couple of games.
Loss of a couple of yards on the carry by McCullough. Great tackle by Lester Towns. It is 2nd and goal at the Husky 4-yard line. 4:11 to go in the first half of play. 17-3, Ducks lead it. Akili Smith will put it up into the end zone and incomplete, intended for his big tight end, Blake Spence. But high over his head and wide as well.
Had a lot of time again, though. Akili Smith finding time to just sit back there and wait. Blake Spence being covered by Jermaine Smith, not being able to get away from him, and smart move, throw it away.
Good point. You don't want to take a bad play down here at the 4-yard line. And Smith, I mean, he's given up about 5 inches and probably about 45 pounds, but he did a great job muscling Spence.
3rd down for the Ducks at the Washington 4. Eric Wynn in the backfield in motion goes Pat Johnson. Smith starting to roll to his right, gets away from a tackler, cuts upfield, pass in the end zone, wide open, touchdown. Blake Spence wide open in the end zone. The Ducks are on the board again. They have a 23-3 lead. Blake Spence went to the far side of the end zone.
How in the world, the leading receiver, tight end probably in the country, can you let the guy get away from you?
Well, because of this, because he's scrambling around.
Exactly what I was going to say. Jason Torek, everybody missing tackles, but he has the ability to find the open man. Great
vision. And right now, Akili Smith is a handful for the Huskies. They have not been able to stop him.
Josh Frankel on for the extra point. Akili Smith running around all over the place. Frankel with the kick. It is up. It is good. And the Ducks have a 24-3 lead with 3:52 to go here in the second quarter. Akili Smith looking for the open man, and he finds him. 24-3, the Ducks lead. Huskies moving downfield with 2:27 to go here in the second quarter. Ducks lead, though, by a score of 24-3. After the timeout, Tuiasosopo leading his offense back onto the field. It is 3rd down and 8, 2:27 to go here in the second quarter. The Huskies with the football at the Duck 20 and make it the Ducks 18-yard line. Washington trying to get on the board before halftime. One more time. Far end zone. Fred Coleman cannot get to it. Thrown out of the end zone.
You had it right, Sonny. They went after the other freshman, Tamani Joyner, tried the little fade route with Freddie Coleman. A lot of experience at wide receiver there for Washington, but that ball was out of play.
But when you're down here in the red zone like the Huskies were, a little fade route isn't bad, but the other advantage for the defense, you run out of room.
That's exactly what happened over the head of Fred Coleman. Field goal try once again for Nick Lentz. The ball is spotted at the 25-yard line, a 35-yard attempt. He had a 46-yarder to put the Huskies on the board for the first time. Snap back, kick up, and overhead. It is good. So Nick Lentz does it one more time. His second field goal here in the first half, and that's how the Huskies get on the board. So with 2:16 to go in the second quarter, it's the Ducks 24 and the Huskies 6. Here at Husky Stadium, 73,775 this afternoon for this Pac-10 matchup between the Huskies and the Ducks. The Huskies undefeated in Pac-10 play at 5-0, 7-1 overall. The Ducks 1-4, and they lead 24-6 with less than a minute to go here in the first half. Long way to go. They're at their own 48-yard line. Akili Smith. Oh, he's still on his feet, taking down. The pass is off.
They're going to rule that his progress was down, that he was down. They'll call that a sack, I believe. Yes.
Stand-up sack. That guy would not go down.
Not go down.
He's a tough kid.
There's Big Mac in there getting the credit for the sack, and what it will also do will keep the clock moving. And with a 3rd and very long, Oregon might not want to even run another play. Look at him. He's so strong. He's still trying to throw, and he's still got it away.
We're down to about 10 seconds on the game clock.
I think Oregon will just let this thing run out and go to the locker room.
All the way back to their 40-yard line. Good pursuit by the defense, and time runs out here in the first half. Holy smoke, what a first half for the Oregon Ducks. That's the end of the first half. They went after the Huskies early in the ball game, and after 2 quarters of play, it's halftime with the Ducks leading by a score of 24-6. Welcome back, where it's halftime here at Husky Stadium. 73,000 plus on hand. A very surprising Ducks lead in the first half. They're on top of the Huskies by a score of 24-6. Hi again, everybody. This is Rick Riz, along with Sonny Sixkiller and Todd McKim. The Oregon Ducks took advantage of a lot of breaks, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They got the job done, Todd.
The kicking game hurt Washington. The Ducks took advantage, as you need to do if you're going to be a good team. And they've established a running game. To start the ball game, it was the option. Later on, the stretch plays with Saladin McCullough, who has 115 yards already.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it's number 11, Akili Smith, the quarterback for the Oregon Ducks. He's been running all over in the backfield. The Husky defense attacking, but not being able to wrap him up. And he's able to have the vision to find an open receiver for a touchdown.
There's their first touchdown. The reception by A.J. Jelks, and now here's their last touchdown of the first half. A little 4-yard pass to Blake Spence. Akili Smith avoids the rush. Wide open. Blake Spence in the end zone. So the Oregon Ducks with the lead at halftime, 24-6. Now let's head on to John Horton in the Fox Sports Northwest Studios. Second half kickoff is underway. 24-6. The Ducks lead, and it's knocked down. Joe Jarzinka picks it back up, and he can only return the ball out to the Washington 9-yard line. Joe Jarzinka had it, then lost control, and that's where the Huskies will start things off in the second half.
Well, that's not the way they wanted to start it off, the way the first half was going. But the Huskies have been very strong this season in the third quarter, Todd.
They have, and conversely, Oregon has not given up an offensive touchdown in the second half of the last two games. So something's going to snap right here.
Marcus Tuiasosopo looking to get that offense in gear here in the second half of play. He's 6 for 15 in the first half for 70 yards passing. The freshman quarterback out of Woodinville. On first down, Tuiasosopo, big rush, gets out of the end zone. He'll keep the ball himself to 15 to 20. He's got the first down for the Huskies. They're on his own 24-yard line.
Well, Terry Miller had Tuiasosopo in his sights in the end zone, but Tuiasosopo with speed and maybe a little better angle to turn the corner, and he looked downfield. Remember in the first half, he found Pathon down in the middle of the field?
Yep.
Well, Jaya Figueres, I don't know if we'll be able to see it right here. He knocks Pathon right to the turf, and Tuiasosopo has no choice. He has to run at this point.
And who else? Peter Sermon also in there to force him out of bounds.
There's Terry Miller. He came close to a big play.
First and 10 for the Huskies at their own 25-yard line. Maurice Shaw to the right side, across the 30, down to the 31-yard line, and another flag is on the play. A lot of penalties early in the first quarter of the ball game. Flag is thrown down around the 27-yard line. Offsides against Oregon.
That's the 6th penalty for Oregon. 6th penalty, and they've all been 5-yard penalties. The Huskies, meanwhile, in the first half, victimized 7 times for 60 yards.
It's the Oregon defensive front, Todd, trying to get a little jump start on that offensive line of the Huskies that's been getting all the press so far this season. Nebraska came in and thought their line was better, and they proved it that day. So the Ducks are trying to, especially number 99, Desmond Bird.
Peter Sermon, the kid out of Walla Walla, has done such a great job defensively all year for the Ducks. In motion near side, Fred Coleman. 1st and 5. Passes off, complete to Pathon, midfield. 45 Duck territory, down to the 41-yard line. Tuiasosopo. Complete to Jerome Pathon. He's been looking for Pathon all over the place in the first half. He finds him early in the third quarter.
Watch this play action. The crowd right here, when they saw Maurice Shaw break through, yelled like it was going to be a big run. So you can tell it was a great sell by the quarterback. Not a pretty pass, but accurate.
Well, sometimes the pretty ones are incomplete. Just get it there. And Rashad Bowman, you see 17 made the tackle, so he's back in the ball game after getting shaken up earlier.
Inside Duck territory at the Oregon 42-yard line. Tuiasosopo keeps it. 35 to 30. Over midfield. He's got him on a green. The 10, 5, touchdown Huskies. Marcus Tuiasosopo takes it all away himself. Holy smoke, what a play. 24-12 our score. The Ducks on the board with their first touchdown of the afternoon. A 42-yard run by freshman Marcus Tuiasosopo. What a play.
This almost looks like a play, Todd, from the Nebraska score when they were in Husky Stadium earlier in the season. Their quarterback also on the play, much like this, ran to the near sideline, untouched to the end zone.
So Jaya Figueres, number 22, the free safety, didn't have the good angle, and Tuiasosopo, as we've mentioned, the good speed. Now the numbers game dictates that the Huskies go for 2 in this situation.
But they should make that decision sooner, because you don't really want to burn a timeout with less than 2 minutes gone in the beginning of the third quarter, which the Huskies just did.
Man, I'm glad you two guys are here.
Well, it's a numbers game. You know, most coaches will have a numbers board, and it, you know, depending on what the numbers are, it dictates whether you go for 1 or 2, no matter what else the scenario. Look at that speed.
What a run.
Marcus probably thought he was going against Bothell from Woodville High School.
I'm sure he did that a whole bunch of times. Marcus Tuiasosopo, the quick score, and right away Sonny Sixhiller and Todd as well. He gets his crown in the ball game. They've been quiet in the first half.
Well, they've been sitting on their hands, and rightly so, with the Oregon Ducks playing so well in that first half. But adjustments have always been made. Coach Lambright, Coach Linehan, the offensive coordinator for the Huskies, has done a tremendous job this year coming back, getting regrouped for the third quarter.
And Coach Bellotti and his staff are thinking, you know, what if Terry Miller had tackled Tuiasosopo in the end zone? It would have been a safety, and the first half would have had a completely different start. But
they're going to try.
Tuiasosopo's great speed.
11th in the world for our impact on the field of psychology. So if you feel the sudden desire to be a duck, we'll understand.
The Huskies trail by 10 against Oregon, 24-14. 8.5 minutes here in the third quarter. Washington all the way down to the Oregon 2-yard line, where it is second down and goal for Washington. Tuiasosopo
Lost a fumble again, boys.
And that could be a touchback or a touchdown.
I think we've got a touchdown. Somebody recovered. It was a Husky on the lost snap from center. And we've got a touchdown for the Huskies.
That's the
Holy smoke, what a break for
That's
Washington.
the new play. That's the bounce option.
Wow.
You bounce it into the end zone and have one of your linemen recover for a touchdown.
Well, they ruled out the fumblerooski, so let's watch the center, Olin Kreutz. 77 right in the middle.
Oh, Figueres. And he'll be wondering about that one.
Oh, he had
forever
it.
and ever and ever.
Sermon's there. The ball gets away from Sermon as well. And I think it's Olin Kreutz who jumps on the football for the touchdown.
His first career touchdown.
How about that? The center, Olin Kreutz. Here's another look.
And Jaya Figueres, all you have to do is fall on the ball and you prevent a touchdown and dodge a big bullet. Instead, Kreutz, and the ball is still kind of loose there. And with the extra point, the Huskies suddenly closed it within 3.
So Nick Lentz with the extra point, and now it is a 3-point game. The Ducks lead by 3, 24-21. For the Huskies with their second touchdown here in the third quarter.
You know, Todd, every team goes through a drill where you learn how to fall on a fumble, how to cradle the ball, bring it into you. That time he just got too excited and tried to, I'm not sure what he was trying to do.
The touchdown for the Huskies, and it's a 3-point ball game.
Well, the Oregon team has to be stunned. You know, they led 24-6 at the half, and the bounces this half have gone Washington's way. And let's face it, Oregon has had several opportunities to make plays to keep the Huskies off the scoreboard in the half. But in this half, it's the Huskies making the plays. Oregon's not making the plays. You know, I saw Olin Kreutz play in high school at St. Louis High School over there on the islands. And this guy walked out into the field, and I'm telling you what, he was like Goliath. You know, he was just huge, and you could tell right then that this guy was going to be a great football player.
He wanted to stay at home and play at the University of Hawaii, but his mom said, no, you're going somewhere else, and he chooses Washington.
Much to the dismay of the Rainbows.
Ducks 9-0 in November since 1994, so they played very well. The kick is off. Deep man, Saladin McCullough, the 5, midfield 10 to the 15, and he's hammered down at the 15-yard line. Holy smoke, great coverage.
Looked like Jeremiah Farms, number 4, right there. Big hit, down low.
This guy is a guided missile on kickoff returns. Number 4, a linebacker, Jeremiah Farms. He's going to be a great football player for the Huskies. And you talk about a guy to watch on kickoffs. Watch number 4.
It's always fun. I always tell people, on kickoffs, get your binoculars out, find a guy, hone in on him all the way.
Huskies with the Ducks deep inside their own territory at the 15. McCullough finds some room on the draw, and he gets down to about the 18-yard line.
He just came to a complete stop, let all the purple go by.
Waited.
It's amazing the patience that he has, because a lot of guys would just take this ball and try to run upfield as fast as you can. He almost comes to a complete stop, and then he's upfield.
It's a gain of 2. Should have been a loss of 2.
It's a talent you really can't teach.
No.
Second down and 8 for the Ducks. Crowd making a lot of noise. Akili Smith rolling, near side, passes off, incomplete. Intended for Spence, the tight end.
Good coverage by Jerry Jensen for the Huskies that time. Number 40 out in coverage, but they were coming after him that time. Marcus Hairston up the middle couldn't quite get to him. And again, Akili Smith with his ability to roll outside and throw on the run.
Near side, he runs out of room. And then looking for Spence, and right there, Jensen gets that arm in there and bats the ball away. Good defensive play by Jerry Jensen. It is now 3rd down and 8 for the Ducks. Good play in the coverage by Jensen. They're coming after Smith. Downfield, incomplete. Intended for Kevin Parker. Down around the 45-yard line, but incomplete. The Ducks will have to kick it away.
Boy, Rick, I don't know how many games you've really been out here at Husky Stadium, but you can feel the level of the excitement growing from those Husky fans.
Oh, this is fun.
Well, that was the perfect play call for that defense. It's a throw and catch, Smith and Parker, and I think Akili Smith would like to have that one back because Parker had a lot of tear into it.
Josh Bidwell back to punt. There's Fred Coleman, one of the deep men for the Huskies, along with Jerome Pathon. And it's going to be taken by Coleman. And Coleman is down at the Husky 34-yard line. So the Huskies take over with 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Ducks lead 24-21. 55 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ducks lead by 3, 24-21. Oregon with the football. 1st and 10 at their own 39. Smith to the near side, keeps it himself on the option across the 45 down to the 48. Gain of almost 9 yards on the carry. Akili Smith can pass it, he can run with it. A dual threat. Jerry Jensen with the tackle along with Mel Miller. Man, that kid right there is exciting, Todd.
He really is.
Because he can do so many things.
You know, one of the reasons he decided to come to Oregon instead of the other decisions that he had is because he would be able to participate in spring practice for Oregon. Look at Jensen. All the way across the field, gets an arm in there, and then Smith spins forward for a couple extra yards.
So it's 2nd down, and looks like less than a yard for another 1st down for the Ducks at their 49-yard line. Smith to McCullough. McCullough breaks out to the 50, and he's got the 1st down. Saladin McCullough, Lester Towns, Jeremy Jensen with the tackle for the Huskies.
I just want to finish off that thought on Smith. You know, some systems are based on semesters. Some schools have the quarter system. Well, in the schools that Smith was considering, he wouldn't be able to participate in spring ball, be admitted to school in time. Oregon on the quarter system, he could get there before spring practice, and as a result, he decided to be a Duck.
We're going to add a few seconds on the game clock. Game clock shows right now 3 seconds. Saladin McCullough with over 100 yards on the afternoon, and most of that came in the 1st half. He had 115 yards in the 1st half of play and a touchdown. He had a touchdown run in the 1st quarter. Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter play. Our score from Husky Stadium: the Ducks 24 and the Huskies 21. 15 minutes left to go in this football game. 4th quarter, Ducks lead 24-21. Oregon with the ball right at the 50-yard line. Smith almost intercepted. Jermaine Smith. Holy smoke, in and out of his hands. Jermaine Smith almost picked it off. It was intended for Tony Hartley.
See Akili Smith there, Todd, tell him, no, you're supposed to break it in a little bit more. He rifled that ball, though.
And Hartley is saying, yeah, but number 7 was sitting in there.
Jermaine Smith, 5'11", 195, the sophomore out of Simi Valley, California. Almost had the interception. It is 2nd down and 10 for the Ducks. What a ball game this afternoon. Ducks led early. The Huskies coming back here in the 2nd half. Smith keeps it himself, and he's able to find somehow about 3 yards on the carry.
Well, Akili Smith has done it with his legs, but so has Saladin McCullough. You know, Sonny, Saladin is over 100 yards today. If he stays over 100 yards, it will be 4 consecutive games in which he has gone over the century mark. Who and when is the last Oregon back to do that?
Oh, no, Rick. No, I know this one. I know this one. Young man, let's see, I can't call him young anymore, but he is from Tacoma. Huh? Let's see, Bobby Moore.
You got it.
How about Ahmad Rashad?
Ahmad Rashad, yeah.
I studied 2 months to do this game. I knew the answer.
Okay, Rick, next
2
time.
months. 3rd down and 6. Smith in trouble. Jabari Issa with the sack. Smith down, back inside Oregon territory at the Oregon 49. Issa all over Akili Smith.
You know, it didn't look like one great individual effort. It looked like everybody just collapsed the whole pocket down. Suki Wiggs, Jabari Issa just going by his man.
Seems like a couple of guys blow up the play defensively and somebody's able to finish it off.
Exactly.
And Issa's right there. It is now 4th down and 12. Josh Bidwell to punt it away, standing back at his own 35-yard line. Pathon is back at the Washington 15. High snap from center, but Bidwell gets off the short kick. Fair catch called for by Pathon, and he makes the catch. And a flag is thrown. He was touched as he made the catch at the 21-yard line. What a mistake by Oregon.
Yeah, a 5-yard penalty. You have to give the receiver 6 feet in which to make the catch before you can come inside that imaginary zone. You can see right there.
Gary Barker.
Gary Barker just a little too close. He's probably about 3.5 feet away.
Well, Buddy Horton there made the call against the Huskies as well, Todd. So
that's right.
He knows that call.
That's right. He's got that one down.
1st down for the Huskies. 13 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the football game. 24-21, the Ducks lead. Jawarren Hooker into the ball game for Washington. Splits out wide to the near side in the shade. Pathon in the sunlight. And on 1st down, Murray Shaw, far side, taken down at the 31-yard line.
Todd, you got a new cornerback in there as well. 13, Davis Sanchez, out here covering Jawarren Hooker. See if the Husky coaching staff can notice the new cornerback.
Yeah, Sanchez, a junior college transfer as well. A young man from up north, British Columbia. He had to guard Pathon. Just let the 2 guys from Canada guard each other.
Jerome from Vancouver.
They could be the 12th guys on the field for each guy.
What's the exchange rate?
It is 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 on the carry by Shaw. To the far side, and Pathon went down as he tried to make the catch. That ball looked like Sonny was behind him as Pathon tried to adjust to get to it.
And that time Bowman had read the little hitch quite nicely. And he was right there with Pathon. So this one has kind of settled down a little bit. Oregon explosive to start. The Huskies explosive to start the 3rd quarter. Now it's kind of settled in a little bit. It'll come down to a big play here or there.
Jim Lambright looking for his 38th win as the head coach of the Huskies. The freshman out of Woodville, Marcus Tuiasosopo, has gone all the way in this one. Dropped back to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it. Cross the 30 and knocked out of bounds at the Washington 35-yard line.
Did not make the 1st down. He's about a yard short, maybe a yard and a half.
Yeah.
That's pretty good speed by the Oregon defense there. The secondary has Tuiaso committed to the run. Davis Sanchez, we just talked about him. They think he's a very good cover guy. The blitz, all-out blitz in the middle.
Bringing everybody. They brought Brandon McLemore, even a strong safety up the middle. Good individual effort right there. Sanchez preventing the 1st down.
A heck of a tackle right there to knock Marcus out of bounds at the 36-yard line. A yard and a half shy of the 1st down. Huskies will kick it away. Pat Johnson, deep man for the Ducks.
It's a return ball.
Got a lot of room to work with. He takes the ball at the 20, far side 25, the 30, and dives out to the 35-yard line.
If he breaks that tackle, it's a touchdown. Nobody touches him after that.
Pat Johnson brings the Ducks out to the 35 with 12:21 to go in the ball game. It's the Oregon Ducks 24, the Washington Huskies 21. 24-21. Oregon on top with 10:41 to go in the ball game. Huskies with the football at their own 28-yard line. 1st and 10. 3 downfield over the middle. Mike Reed complete. Holy smoke! All the way downfield to the Oregon 35-yard line. Mike Reed with the reception from Marcus Tuiasosopo. Sopo.
The Ducks have another injury on this play, but he's getting time to throw the football, you guys. And right here, when you have a little bit of time, you can throw a little tighter spiral, and he had to get it in there before the safety, number 22, Figueres, comes over to make a play.
And Jaya Figueres makes the play, and he actually bumps off Brandon McLemore, who fell on his hip or back.
Another injury for the Ducks. Brandon McLemore.
He gets kind of chopped at the end of this play.
Watch Figueres coming over. That had to be a bullet right in there.
And then Figueres, and also the ankle as well.
Oh, man. He took quite a hit from his own man.
So in back-to-back plays, Oregon could lose 2 defensive backs. A corner and a safety.
6'2", 200-pound sophomore from Torrance, California.
McLemore's made some big plays today, Rick.
Yes, he has.
He's the brother of Oregon's all-time leading receiver, Kristen McLemore.
Very good player.
And that did look like an ankle.
McLemore very gingerly being taken off the field. This Brandon McLemore is okay. He's off the field. 24-21 Oregon, 10-17 left to go in the ball game. Tuiasa Sopo downfield, and it's broken up. Almost intercepted by Gary Barker. He had a hand on it. The ball spun up in the air for a little while. Gary Barker breaks up the play.
This one just needed a little bit more air underneath it. Barker had a good drop. He's in essence playing a strong safety up near the line of scrimmage. You see a little more air under it. There might be a touchdown, but Barker with a good drop to get his hand on the ball.
It is 2nd down and 10. Good defensive play by Mr. Barker. 2nd down. Harris with a carry, not any room at all on the left side. Peter Sermon with the tackle, the linebacker.
Well, it's nice to know that he has lived up to our billing. At the beginning of sometimes you do those open, and the guy that you talk about doesn't do anything. But today it's been Peter Sermon. He's had a tremendous game.
You have a pretty good chance, though, when you talk about that guy.
Yeah, I think you do, don't you? Leads the Pac-10 in tackles, and after today's performance, will probably continue atop the list.
Yeah, he had 73 coming into the ball game. Goes right to the football. He has an interception this afternoon as well. It is 3rd down and 9 for the Huskies. Tuiasa Sopo with plenty of time, but he's going to keep the football to the far sideline and take it out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Well shy of the 1st down.
And a good job by Garth White, the inside linebacker, kind of spying in there, reading the eyes of the quarterback. And when Tuiasa Sopo took off, number 55, Garth White, to the left of your screen there, 55, back into the pass drop. And now Tuiasa Sopo at this point says, I'm out of here, and White is right on it.
The Huskies had 2 receivers to the near side or to the right of the screen, both of them way downfield. Again, they're failing to go for that 5, 10, 15-yard pass completion.
And on 4th down, it looks like the Huskies will go for it. If they do, they're 4 of 9 this year.
It is 4th down and 4. At the Oregon 31-yard line, Tuiasa Sopo looking to throw, and it's going to be complete. First down, Jerome Paython. Holy smoke, on 4th down, they go for it, and they get it. Paython with the catch.
And isolated on the free safety, Jaya Figueres, but we do have a flag in the Oregon secondary, and the Oregon guys are clapping as though it would be against the Huskies.
So a hanky down around the 20-yard line. On the opposite side where the play was, on the catch by Paython.
The pass.
It was a 1st down.
The pass results in a 1st down. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal demonstration against the offense. 15-yard penalty.
I know exactly what he did. After the 1st down was made, the center, Olin Kreutz, went down about 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, went on a knee and went 1st down.
You know what? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's all he did.
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't cover the sport very often, but that's ridiculous.
You know, we've been talking about this on our telecast too, and sometimes they take the fun out of football.
Yeah.
You know, let these guys build up with a lot of emotion. It is a first down and 10 for the Huskies. They just lose some field position.
You got to have fun playing this ball game. A lot of penalties for the Huskies in this ball game, but they do have the first down. Tuiasosopo looking for room, can't find any. The Duck defense, a great job, and they get Marcus for a loss of about 3 yards.
That's a situation where you have a tailback that hasn't been getting a lot of playing time. Jason Harris taking the wrong route direction, and Marcus was not able to make the handoff.
Garth White on the tackle for the Ducks.
At the Oregon 41.
Loss of 2, they call it. It'll be second down and 12 with 8 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the game. And the Ducks lead by a score of 24-21. They did all of their scoring in the first half of play. And they had a 24-6 lead at halftime. Long yardage on second down. Putting it up for Fred Coleman.
I don't understand that, guys. I don't quite understand the Husky offense on a play like that. Critical situation, 2nd and 12. You're on about the 40-yard line, and how many times have we seen them overthrow on a go route?
They obviously must have been convinced in looking at tapes of the Ducks that you can go after them deep at the corners, because we have seen it probably 7, 8, 10 times today. So sometimes it's going into a game, you have a game plan and you try to stick to it.
Young quarterback will learn if that's the only receiver. When the defensive guy, number 4, Edwards, is running further downfield than your receiver, look for somebody else.
Now it is 3rd down and 12 for the Huskies. The Oregon 41-yard line. Another big play here in the final quarter. Deep downfield over the middle. Jaward Hooker, touchdown, Huskies! Holy smoke! Tuiasosopo to Jaward Hooker, and the Huskies take the lead with 8 minutes to play the ball game. Right over the middle, Jaward Hooker with the catch and the touchdown. It is 27-24. The Huskies take the lead.
We talked about him throwing deep today, overthrowing receivers. This time he has a guy that can catch up to it, Jaward Hooker. Number 4 versus 4. Edwards not being able to stay with.
See how he tried to cut underneath it instead of around the other way. And with the point after, now the Huskies lead for the first time by 4 points.
So the Huskies on top for the first time in the ball game. A 41-yard touchdown pass, Tuiasosopo to Jaward Hooker. 8 minutes to go. It's the Huskies 28 and the Oregon Ducks 24. Well, Huskies lead for the first time in this ball game, 28-24. A 41-yard hookup between Marcus Tuiasosopo and Jaward Hooker. The two kids get together and give the Huskies a 4-point lead. And here's the catch one more time.
Jerome Pathon taking the safety out of the play, and Jaward Hooker doing a good job to hang on to that football. Cradle it in.
Yeah, it's also a job by Oregon's Eric Edwards, not knowing how fast that guy is. You've got to know what your scouting report. The guy's a 10-2-8 100-meter guy, runs 4.27 in the 40.
Kick downfield, taken at the 15. McCullough, and down to the Oregon 26-yard line. The crowd definitely back in this ball game with 7:52 left to play. Jaward Hooker, that kid's fun to watch. He gets congratulations by Brock Heward, who has watched the entire ball game this afternoon from the sideline.
Well, this is a sign of a good program in the Huskies, that their 2 freshmen, true freshmen, really have made the difference here offensively today. Tuiasosopo and then Hooker with the go-ahead score.
Good point.
Oregon only 17 total yards in the second half. What a job by the Husky defense. First down, Oregon, downfield, and it's bobbled and caught by Spence, the tight end. He juggled it, brought it back in. What a play by Blake Spence. Great catch over the middle.
Great throw, great catch, right down the middle. Here's going to be a great look. Good fire right there.
Usually you try to put a little bit underneath that one, Sonny, down the middle. Hairston had pretty good coverage.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't fault him. It's just you have to sometimes tip your hat to the quarterback and the receiver.
5 grabs, 56 yards for Blake Spence, the tight end. First and 10 at the 50-yard line. What a game. 7.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Smith to McCullough, right side. Across midfield, he's down to the Husky 43-yard line. A gain of about 7. Jabari Issa on the tackle for the Huskies.
You know, sometimes an offense will take advantage of a defense's over-aggressiveness. The defensive ends for Washington are the outside backers, Chorak and Jensen. They want to get upfield as fast as they can, and sometimes you can use that to your benefit if you can come out and make a nice trap block. That's what happened there.
A gain of 7. It is second down, short yardage. Only 3 yards to go for another first down for the Ducks. 28-24. The Huskies have the lead after the touchdown reception by Jawarn Hooker. Akili Smith looking to the sideline, and it's caught by Parker. Kevin Parker on the catch. A little one-handed grab, and he's out of bounds and with the first down.
A one-handed catch by Kevin Parker, who started his career as a tailback, but he has very good hands, and this is another one that he ropes right in there. Watch this catch by Parker. One-handed to stop it and then get enough for the first down.
That's true, and also Mel Miller, when he went in motion, did not cover him directly. He had to scurry and get out there to get in coverage.
5 yards from the previous spot.
Bad break.
Second down.
A penalty against the University of Oregon.
Parker may have hit it upfield just a little bit too soon. You see the Ducks in the second half, no double digits.
3 plays, punt. Likewise, 5 and punt, and then 3 plays and punt again. That's been the score of the second half. Yeah.
Yes, it has been, Rick.
It is second down and 8 for the Ducks at the Washington 48-yard line. Smith has gone all the way. A lot of pressure, but he gets away, but now taken down at the 42-yard line, and there is Jabari Issa one more time.
A little indecision by Smith, and Issa, I mean, this big guy can run because it looked like it was the parting of the green sea here, so to speak, and he was going to have a chance to get a first down.
You might have heard me say, ooh. Being a Husky fan, of course, I saw Smith break up through the middle. I thought he had a lot of yardage to go, and Issa did a good job.
Third down and 2. Wynn and McCullough in the backfield. Smith keeps it himself. He's got the first down across the 40 down to the 39. So a big first down for the Ducks.
Well, this is not a good spot. They spotted that ball right at the 40. I thought he was clearly beyond the 40, but they spotted his knee down at the 40, so it'll be close.
They gave it to him.
Yeah, they gave it to him.
Again, the option, which has been really a good play for the Ducks all afternoon.
And that was a good spot there because he did fall down right at the 40.
So it is a first down for the Ducks. Right at the Washington 40-yard line. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the game. Huskies with a 4-point lead, 28-24. Huskies trying to stay undefeated in the Pac-10. They are 5-0. The Ducks have one conference win at 1-4. McCullough, and he's down at the line of scrimmage. Jason Chorak is there, along with Issa. And Jerry Jensen as well.
They give Jerry Jensen the credit for the tackle, but watch the play right here inside. And it was Jerry Jensen. From the first play, I thought it was Chorak, but that time you can clearly see Jerry Jensen.
Got that long arm in there and started to wrap up McCullough. It is second down and 10. Jensen getting the crowd back into it. 73,775 this afternoon here at Husky Stadium. 4:50 to go in the ball game. Out of the pocket, Smith, and he's down. Chorak, holy smoke! Jason Chorak with a sack, and he brings Smith down back at the Washington 46.
You don't hear much about him all day. It's kind of plodding along. Sooner or later, Jason Chorak's going to get to you, fighting around the block, diving out and getting his feet and knocking him down. Great, tremendous individual effort, Todd.
It was one-on-one with the left tackle, Marco Aguirre, who has been a very good pass-blocking tackle for Oregon. But that time, Chorak just overpowered him and made a big play.
Huge play defensively for the Huskies. It's now third down and 16 for the Ducks at the Washington 46. Akili Smith. Donald Haynes is open. First down, he's out of bounds at the Washington 20. What a catch by Donald Haynes.
The Ducks have used the crossing routes and the throwback crossing route with a lot of success this year. It's an influence play where you try to influence the safety to the side that you're rolling, right there, you see the flow of the play is to one side, and then the receiver is cutting back against the grain, and right there, great catch by Haynes and a super pass by Smith.
Watch this. I watched him all the way on the first time, and when you're on a linebacker like that, the receiver's going to win the battle.
And you also influenced Parrish, too. He stayed right on the near hash.
On first down, Saladin McCullough tries to spin away, does, but he only can get back to the original line of scrimmage, the Washington 19. He's taken down by linebacker Lester Towns.
But these Oregon backs do not go down very easily, and that includes the quarterback, Smith.
Great second effort, trying to spin and turn and twist and knife for an extra yard if they can get it. And this guy usually has on the afternoon, Saladin McCullough.
You saw Blake Spence there, and you know the play's in trouble when he's standing there looking for somebody to hit. Probably should have had somebody a little sooner.
What a day for Lester Towns. Second down and 10. No gain on that carry by Saladin McCullough. Good pressure. Lester Towns chasing Smith along with Jensen. Smith still on his feet. Avoids another tackler. But he can't get on by Lester Towns. He brings him down one more time. Lester Towns stayed with the pursuit, and he finally gets to Akili Smith.
You know, Akili Smith has made a lot of great plays today with his running ability, but in this situation, at some point in that play, he has to realize this thing is dead. I've got nothing going for me. I have to get rid of the football. Instead, he takes about a 9-yard. Right there. See, right there, he had to get rid of it. He doesn't have much time to think about it. And God bless the kid. He's had a great game, but that's a huge loss.
It is third down and 20. The Husky defense, what a job by the defense, especially here in the second half. 2.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Our score, it's the Huskies 28 and the Ducks 24. 775 and a beautiful afternoon out for football. There's your score. 2.5 minutes left to play. The Huskies lead by 4, 28-24. The Ducks have the football. Third down and 20 at the Washington 29-yard line. Rick Riz along with Sonny Sixkiller and Todd McKim won a ball game. Up top, downfield, and it is going to be complete. Holy smoke, a touchdown, Pat Johnson. Holy smoke, what a catch. And the Ducks take the lead 30-28. Diving catch in the end zone, Pat Johnson.
Well, we said anytime he touches the ball, he's a threat. I'll tell you what, last year, this guy doesn't make that catch. He is a much better receiver now because he spent the spring and the summer catching the football. This is just a layout effort. Pretty good coverage. You can't really fault him that much.
But again, Akili Smith's been on target with the throw.
Yep.
29-yard touchdown pass from Akili Smith to that man, Pat Johnson. His third touchdown of the season.
3rd and 20, you blitz, you put yourself in that position.
The extra point try for the Ducks. Frankel gets the kickoff, and it is good. And the Ducks have a 3-point lead. It is now the Ducks 31 and the Huskies 28. Don't go away. 2:33 left in this ball game.
Catch Pac-10 now. College Football Saturday is here. All live, all season long. The great games, the big plays, the team rivalries. It's all right here. The run for the Roses is on. Pac-10 on College Football Saturday. Weekend sports doesn't get any better than this. All season long on Fox Sports Northwest.
Underway with 2:26 left to go in the ball game. The kick is off. Joe Jarzinka grabs it and takes it out to the Washington 33-yard line. A little over 2 minutes to go in this ball game, and the Ducks have the lead now at 31-28.
Plenty of time for Washington, but remember, they took their final timeout defensively on that touchdown pass by the Ducks, so they have no timeouts.
They second-guessed themselves.
The touchdown that gave the Ducks the lead. Look at this diving catch. Great catch by Pat Johnson in the end zone. A 29-yard touchdown pass from Akili Smith to give the Ducks a 31-28 lead in the ball game. Whistle on the plate. Passes off, complete to Harris, or at least I thought I heard a whistle. And Harris is out of bounds around the Washington 35-yard line.
So a short, I mean, it's a gain of 2. I mean, the clock stops. Huskies need a little bigger chunks than that. That was quite a drive by Oregon right when the house was rocking at its ultimate. And now the Huskies have to find something for this true freshman that'll work.
Second down and 8 at the Washington 35-yard line. Tuiasosopo rolling to the near side. It's going to be complete. And down to the 43-yard line, Freddie Coleman with the reception.
It's close to a first down.
A little short though, I think, Todd. You see the Oregon players, man, keep that clock running. Don't call timeout.
They may call in for a measurement, and that will give Huskies a little bit more time to regroup offensively, get a play or 2 called in the huddle, and then when they mark the ball ready for play, they should be at the line of scrimmage and ready to go.
Clock stops, 2:06 left to play in the ball game. Nick Lentz has a 46-yard field goal in this ball game.
Ironically, 2 years ago, it came down to a field goal. Washington was unable to convert twice late in the ball game.
2 years ago, the Ducks winning here in Seattle 24-22. The last time the Ducks won back-to-back appearances here in Seattle, you got to go back to the 60s, 1964 and 1968. The last time Oregon won back-to-back games against the Huskies here in Seattle.
Not many visiting teams come in here and walk away with victories, no matter who you are.
Third down and 1. With 2:06 left to play. 31-28 our score. The Ducks lead. They had the great first half. Huskies have come back here in the second half. Third down. Harris. And he's hit in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss.
Garrett Sable, the true freshman, strong safety. This guy's a real hitter. They say he's a lot like Chad Cota. Now the problem for the Huskies is they need 5 yards, and they don't have a lot of time to get this thing straightened out. They can't really huddle.
Game right through. Fourth down, and the Huskies.
Well, this is it right here, ladies and gentlemen, right?
Yeah, this is the game right here. Fourth down and 4. The Huskies have to go for it with 1:30 left to play in the ball game.
Got to go to Payton, don't you think? 24.
In motion to the near side, Fred Coleman. Tuiasosopo stumbles, recovers, and now he's taken down by Sermon at the 38-yard line, and the Ducks take over.
The lack of a timeout really hurt Sonny because it was confusion there on the fourth down play. I think they wanted to roll Tuiasosopo out, give him an option to pass or run, but the lack of timeouts really hurt.
I agree with you 100%. Just slipped on the turf right there, but they had really had good defense against him anyway. Even if he kept his footing, I'm not sure if he'd had a chance for a play.
And fittingly, number 44, Peter Sermon, makes the big tackle. Now, no timeouts. The Ducks would simply take the knee and hope that nobody is related to Joe Pisarcik.
Yeah, exactly.
Only 1:20 to go in this ball game, and the Ducks have the football at the Washington 37-yard line. Give the Ducks a lot of credit. They have played one heck of a ball game, but 1:20 to go. (31-28). Oregon on top. Akili Smith just takes the knee.
Well, let's put this in a little perspective. For Oregon, it continues the hopes for a winning season and possibly a bowl. They can now, with their last 2 games, if they win one, they can finish with a winning record for the 4th consecutive year and maybe go to a bowl. For the Huskies, they still can determine their Rose Bowl fate if they win the last 2 games.
With victories against UCLA and Washington State coming up in their final 2 games. Only 46 seconds left to go in the ball game. So the Ducks just will run out the clock.
And what it does is it puts UCLA clearly back into the Rose Bowl race right now.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
They're clearly back in it because if they can beat Washington and Washington can beat Washington State, then the Bruins could go.
It's
so it's really
for a number
wild
of teams.
last couple of weeks. It's going to be unbelievable.
Only 20 seconds left to go in the game. Mike Bellotti, the head coach for the Ducks, very pleased with the way his club has come into Seattle and played this afternoon with that first quarter burst. Akili Smith down with a knee, and that will run out the clock. The University of Oregon will upset the number 6 ranked Washington Huskies. The ball game is over. The Ducks win it. A final score of 31-28. So the Oregon Ducks come into Seattle, and for the first time since the 60s, they have won back-to-back appearances here at Husky Stadium. The Oregon Ducks win it. Final score, the Ducks 31 and the Huskies 28.